during this time is the darkest time. It's the time where people are doing spells, witchcraft, sacrificing. People are getting kidnapped. And I think it's weird if I see a pastor celebrating Halloween when I really believe that he should be praying. Have you guys ever wondered whether or not Christians should celebrate Halloween? See, this topic, I didn't think it was really a topic to even discuss. But lately, I've been seeing a lot of people having their own opinions about whether or not if Christians should celebrate it. And is it a sin? And it made me wonder, like, yo, it was my Haitian mother being dramatic my whole life. I wanted to do some detective work, y'all. Some detective work. So I decided to do some research. I went into databases, y'all. I decided to research the roots, the history, and answer the question whether or not Christians should celebrate Halloween in one video. So I'm excited to share this with you guys. And what I discovered was crazy. Like crazy. Like I literally was in my room just sitting there like in shock. So growing up, I didn't celebrate Halloween. I probably celebrated Halloween once, and it was at school when all the kids were dressing up. I convinced my parents, who weren't that religious, but they let me dress up, and it was great. I got candy. I wanted to be a witch, so I ended up putting an outfit as a witch, which was like interesting. Yeah, but then probably like third or fourth grade, around this time, things switched up because eventually both my parents weren't together. But my mom, during this time, ended up committing her life to the church. So she was like now a Christian. She was going to church every Sunday. And I remember asking her, like, can I wear a costume? You let me wear a costume once. Why not this year? And she said no. So then I begged my dad. I was like, Dad, can you get me this costume? Can you buy me this costume? And he said yes, and he got me the costume. Mom found out, and pretty much we'll just say that she just got rid of the costume. That costume was in the trash. She ripped it up. She was not having it. She was like, not here. You are not celebrating Satan's holiday. And I was in tears because I wanted to fit in with all the kids in class. And I mean, eventually I got over it because I was like, it doesn't really matter. I still get candy. And probably in college is when I started actually like celebrating it with my friends. And it was just more for fun. It was like nothing for me. It was just like, oh, let's dress up, let's cool, let's party, da da da. It was more of like a social thing. And then I think that was pretty much it. So my experience wasn't that really deep. I mean, besides when it comes to like supernatural stuff, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I used to read a lot of supernatural books. Like I would read a lot of like vampire books, werewolf books, ghost books, talking to the dead. I read a lot of books about that stuff growing up as a kid. And I was really into like the vampires, Vampire Diaries. Oh my gosh, I was obsessed with Vampire Diaries. And, obviously, eventually I stopped watching it because of the witches and all this. There's so much witchcraft in that show, which is crazy to me. And I was very oblivious to that. Before I share with you guys everything that I learned, I first want to say that before you make a decision, always do your research. Always. Never go with the flow. Never like just focus on people on social media and see what they're doing, or the other Christians or pastors or whatever. Always do your research. Always go to the Bible. You can do your research online as well. Like most of the stuff I had to go through like history articles, databases, to get some of my answers. And then I also read scripture through the Bible, and it gave me a clear idea of like what I should do. And I believe that you guys should do the same. Do not just take my video and run with it, but just listen to what I have to say and then do your own research as well. Before I go into this, I just want to say that I never knew anything about the roots and the history of Halloween at all. And this was my this is my first time doing the research and actually sharing with somebody right here. If you guys are ready, let's get into this. So Halloween has its first roots in the Celtic festival of Samhain. So Samhain was a pagan celebration, and it was a celebration to welcome harvest at the end of the summer. It was really considered as the new year for the Celtics. And you guys, I just want to say the Celtics were originally in Ireland. They were started in Ireland, which is interesting because I didn't really put one to one together. And then I realized, like, oh shoot, I'm from Boston, so we have the Boston Celtics. And the Boston Celtics, if you guys know, have like the clover, and that's Irish. So I'm like, oh, I didn't know the Celtics were like, you know, from Ireland. I didn't. So Halloween was really started in Ireland. The Celtics Gauls claimed that they were descended from the father Dis, and Dis meant the father of darkness, the underworld. October 31st was considered the beginning of darkness. This was their new year. You know how we start our new year January? They start their new year October 31st. And around this time, they also believed that the veil was very thin from the spiritual realm and earth. So this is where they did a lot of prophecies. They did a lot of talking to the dead, because they believed this time was the darkest. October 31st was the darkest. And they did a lot of sacrifices to their gods. And when I was doing some research, I saw that many of the Celtics would actually go into the cemetery to give them food. They would give their ancestors food and find ways to communicate with their ancestors. The veil that they had between them was very thin, so they believed that they could speak to their ancestors and as well get information from them, information about their family, knowledge, all this information. So they thought that their ancestors was almost like their gods. They would talk to them. They would visit them in cemeteries, would give to them, they would sacrifice to them. This is my answer about Halloween. I truly don't believe that people who celebrate Halloween are evil, that are sinning in life. I believe that a lot of people have good intentions. They're not trying to live a wicked life. They're really trying to make their child feel included. You know what I mean? But I truly believe that you can't change something that's bad to something good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't make the devil good. And it is crazy to me because it's like the origin of Halloween and the foundation of Halloween is evil. It is demonic. You don't want to touch it. So it's interesting how people want to take that and try to make it good. They try to make it more godly. You cannot take things that are not of God and make it godly. You cannot take a demon and make it into an angel. I believe personally that this does not work. And I don't believe that Christians should celebrate Halloween because of the foundation of Halloween and what it's rooted in. It was rooted in occults, sacrifices, worshiping other gods. Everything the Celtics did and they practiced is all rooted in the occult, and it's like it goes against the Bible. And they have modernized Halloween and it made it more fun. Halloween was never something we celebrated until the 1930s. It wasn't until the Irish immigrated here in the 1800s and they were practicing it, and then we started to adapt to their practices, and we're like, oh, that's fun, let's do that too. And then they started to make a business and money out of it as well. So the whole practicing Halloween, having fun, making it a holiday has really been just a trend in America. And we never really knew where it came from. You know what I mean? It's something that we just assumed, oh, this is Thanksgiving, this is Christmas. But this holiday specifically, the origins of it is truly evil. And I personally don't care if my kids feel like an outcast or any of that. This is really a pagan holiday. It's very secular. It's all they did was modernize it and made it look kid friendly. They took witchcraft practices and they're making it fun. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many, like, I literally dressed up as a witch when I was 7 and I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was fun. It was spooky. Ooh, magic. I get to do this. And now we have people who are coming out saying they're a witch now. Like, don't be blind to the spiritual stuff. One thing that I'm learning is not to deny the spiritual realm, because these people, these occult people, people who do witchcraft, shamanism, they recognize that everything's spiritual. But then as Christians, we're out here adapting with them and celebrating with them as well. And I don't think that's right. I wouldn't be surprised if they celebrate. I'm like, all right. But then it's like a Christian, and it's like, you know where it's come from. Yeah, your kids are maybe your kids can't celebrate and they feel like they're outcasts. But you do realize we're living in the end times right now. Everything that is wrong will be right. And that's pretty much what's been going on in this world. And we have to continue to be separated by this. We can't just try to blend in the world because we feel like we feel like we're an outcast. We feel like our kids can't celebrate. I don't have a kid, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, I didn't get to celebrate Halloween as a child. I am okay. I am fine. Like, I am not traumatized. I really just wanted the candy. I thought it was fun, and that's about it. Like, I'm not gonna even judge anybody who does it, but one thing you should be aware, like, if you are a pastor, I really do believe, like, if you are a pastor and you're shepherding a church and you out here celebrating Halloween and you don't remember that there are spiritual, like, attacks around this time, like, during this time is the darkest time. It's the time where people are doing spells, witchcraft, sacrificing. People are getting kidnapped. And I think it's weird if I see a pastor celebrating Halloween when I really believe that he should be praying. Instead of celebrating, trying to be like the world, you should be actually fighting in the spirit. You should be praying in the spirit, because the evilness that happens around this time is crazy. So many people go missing. So many spells, so many demonic things are happening in the spiritual realm that we do not see, and we cannot ignore it constantly. We have to be aware that it's happening, and we have to stand our ground and stand firm with our beliefs and realize that we have to stand firm. We have to fight back. You know what I mean? Especially pastors, they have to fight back. I'm more lenient on just Christians, just regular Christians, but I'm a little bit harder on pastors and people shepherding other people, because if they think that it's okay and they're dressing up, they're also going to let their congregation know that it's okay as well. And that's a little like sad for me, because then it's like, do you not know what's happening right now? Like, bad things are going on spiritually, and you're not fighting for your community, fighting for your church. That's exactly what the enemy would want you to do. Celebrate with him rather than fight against him. That is actually a really good tactic, I'll be honest. I wanted to just share with you guys everything that I learned, and I really hope this helped you understand the roots, origins, and I encourage you guys to do your own research, look it up online, and if you want to celebrate Halloween, okay, but I truly give it to God. Really give it to God whether or not this is something that you truly feel is okay. And don't condemn other people who do. If you are someone who is not celebrating Halloween, but you see somebody else doing it, do not condemn them, because that's not going to make them change their ways. Yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wish I was more structured in this video. It was more of me sharing with you guys all my research. And yeah, I hope you guys like this episode. See you guys later. Bye.